Okay, so we are going to review how to import music from MuseScore. Today, first thing. The funny thing is, I just did this like about 2 days ago with my son because he wanted to get some Christmas music on one of the games that he's writing in a different program, but it's kind of fun too. So let's go ahead and do that. First of all, we go to multimedia and then go to MuseScore and start up the application. And right after you start up the application, you can go to connect with the community, which is on the right hand side. You can find other music. You can that's where you can get started. And it might do some complaining about URL QRC. Doesn't know how to handle it. That's okay. And then what you can do is to use the search button. You can also go to musescore.com to download the music, to download the scores. But this is one way to do it. Do you know the song or the music that you're trying to locate?
No.
Okay. If you do not know the music that you're trying to download, you can open up a browser. So go to Applications menu, and then scroll down to Internet, and then either use Google Chrome or iceweasel to start up a browser. I just use Google Chrome for most of the stuff that I do. And start it up. And then you can go to musescore.com, musescore.com, and not .org. The .org website, let you download the software. The .com website, has all the sheet music that you can download from other people who have created, that music, those music. And it's kind of funny. They have a Angry Birds Baroque style. I think that's kind of amusing, right? So once you get here, you can go to okay. You can go to sheet music, and once you get to sheet music, you can filter by instrument, which is probably not what you want to do. You can go to genre, and then you can look up what type of music you want to get. I think under each genre it has multiple items too. Let's say if you want to look up let's say film, you can also see different types of film, or you can filter by instrument. I guess they don't have a whole lot of genre after you get down to movie. So let me see if I can find the Darth Vader March. Oh, there we go. Imperial March Orchestra. And here we have the classic, Star Wars theme. So I hope you can find your music this way. Do you think you can find it?
Yeah.
Okay. I just cannot resist. I have to give this one a try. Oh. No, that's. Okay, now that we have located the music, you still have to download the score, so we can put it into MuseScore in order to use it. So I'm going to go through that process too. So, okay, after this, you go to download, and when you download, you can already download to the MP3. I would, since we have MuseScore already installed, I'll download the MuseScore version. So you just use download MuseScore. And it will be downloaded automatically to your download folder. Okay, so you have to remember where to look for that. Now that it is downloaded, I can click it, and it automatically opens it in MuseScore. So you can see MuseScore. You can close the other one that we don't need, and now we have the Imperial March of Star Wars. And once we get to here, we can go to Files, and then you can use Save As, and then you can specify one of the music file formats. I would use OGG Vorbis, for the purpose of using OpenShot, it will work just fine. The other formats, like wave audio, is going to take up a lot of space. So you may not need that type of fidelity. But all of this is very good. It compresses the file a little bit, but for the most part, you preserve, the full quality of the music. So once we get to OGG4bis audio, we just click it, and give the file a name. And when you save it, you might want to save it to the drive that you're using for your project. In other words, for me, it is info.win under cisa141, and and then I have to change the file name to something .ogg. So I'll just say vader.ogg, and then click save. And you have the progress bar here, showing you the progress. It takes a little bit of time depending on the music and also the speed of your computer. But for the most part, the percentage is pretty, indicative of how much time is remaining. How much more time the computer needs to render the music. On these computers, it's relatively fast. We're almost done. All right. Well, it's doing something else. Let me see what it's doing. I think it's a two-step process. The first part is to output the music, and then the second part is to encode it in OGG, the OGG4bis format. So after this bar fills up to 100%, then it will be ready. All right, when it's all done, we can switch back to OpenShot. So I have not opened up OpenShot yet. Now I'm opening it. And after I open OpenShot, I go to the same project. So you might want to make sure that you open up the project first. So I go to my external hard drive, go to cisa141, double click Miata for sale, open up the project. And now I can swap out the original track. So I can go to my music track here and to basically just take out these items. And I think just clicking it, right click and remove clip. Oops. Replace clip, remove. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to remove all my original music. And inside the project, I go to File, I go to Import Files, and I'll just import vader.ogg into the project file. Once vader.ogg is inside the project file, drag and drop into the music track, which to me is track 3. You may not use track 3 for music, but to me it's track 3. So now instead of the Pet Shop Boy, music, now I have the Darth Vader March as the background music of my video. So just to verify, double check everything still works, I'm just gonna give it a try. Make sure I save the file. Oh. Okay, where's the music? There we go. All right. So is that good? Okay. Yeah, that's also appropriate music because I thought about getting like TIE Fighter as my license plate because my Miata actually sounds like a TIE Fighter. When it's around 6,000 RPM, it's any other topic you guys want me to go over again?
Can you go over how to do the
Titling?
yeah.
Okay, let's go do the titling. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, this one already has the title, so I'm going to remove the title altogether and then redo the whole thing. So I'm going to remove clip, and remove clip. So now I don't have a title anymore. When you create your title, there are two ways to do it. It depends. Are you trying to put text into the video clip and the picture, or are you making just the title?
Just the title.
Just the title. Very good. Okay. So you go to title, you click new title, and then you can select one of the templates.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can have they already have templates like this. Because if I am using the music that somebody else has created, I should have probably a title like this just to recognize the person who did this. But let's just go for something that's simpler. Footer is all the way at the bottom. Gold and gold 2. One has a title and a subtitle. So we'll just use this one. Let's say we are using this one. Then you click create new title. And I'll just say Miata. This is just a file name. Miata for sale is the name of the title file. Just click OK. And now you can enter the text of your title. So we'll say 1996 Mazda Miata. And I'll just give it a price here. Totally unreasonable, $5,000 for a good old beat up little car. Okay. Now after that, you can also go to these properties. You can actually change a lot of things before you finalize this version. Edit text obviously just puts you back into the screen that we came from, so you can continue to change the text. Font properties allows you to change the font. So if you want to play around with the fonts, that's fine too. What we might want to consider is to change the background color. This is the foreground color, and this is the background color. The background color right now is transparent. In other words, if you have something behind the title, it's going to show through. So instead of having a transparent background color, I'm going to specify like completely black, and that doesn't do anything unless you turn up opacity. Okay, because otherwise you can specify any color that you want, but it's actually transparent. But by turning up the opacity, now the background is actually opaque, 100% opaque in this case. 255 is as big, a large a value as you can specify, and 0 is as little as you can specify. So right now I have a completely dark background. Click OK, and you can see it shows you the preview like right away. Any questions about this part? No?
No, I was just wondering how to do that because every time I tried to change the color, it would turn white.
Oh, okay. Is that because of the transparency? Okay. So you just click apply, and now we have a new title. The titles are they have an extension of SVG for scalable vector graphics. So now you can just drag and drop it here. Now, as a requirement of your project, you also need to make it fade in and fade out. So I'll cover that a little bit here too. So I'll make my title, the length of the title, a little bit longer, just so that I can transition into the first part or the first image. But before I do that, I have to use the razor tool, which looks like a pair of scissors, which is kind of confusing, and cut it out a little bit. So I cut it out into 3 portions, because I want to use the blur effect to blur, to go from completely blurred into the text, and then from the text and completely blurred out back into the black background. So with the first one, I will include the blur effect. So I go to effects here and specify blur, drag it over here. And the last one, I also want the blur effect, so I'm going to drag it over there. When you have the blur effect, it is just fully on or fully off. So in order to customize that, you have to go to right click on, okay, let me do that again. Right click on the clip that you are trying to modify, go to properties. From properties, you want to go to the effects tab and click the effect that you're trying to edit. You can specify the start of the clip as well as the end of the clip. So you want the start of the clip to be blurred, so you want it to be a non-zero value. But at the end, in this case, we want it to be 1, so that it is not blurred at all. And you can also use the preview and play it, just so they can see how it goes from blur to completely sharp, and that's what it does. So we will do apply, and make sure you save the project often. Okay, we don't want to lose anything. And then with the last one, we want to do exactly the opposite. We go back to effects, go to blur again, but this time we want to start from 0 or start from 1 and then go to 50. So it gradually becomes more blurred, and we can use the preview, and you can see how the font is actually getting blurred over that period of time. I click apply, save the project.